welcome to the Deviant Core Podcast. Thank you for joining us. And if you haven't already, go ahead and head on over to our YouTube, subscribe, head on over to Facebook, follow, and to get access to more videos. And that's going to be for our viewers. For those who are listening, we're going to be on Apple Podcasts. We're going to be on Spotify. So go ahead and follow us there. But next story, we're going to talk about a Florida man who buys a $300,000 Lamborghini using the PPP loan that he got. Jesus. Wow. Just wow. But it is expected. So let's get into the story because I think it's very interesting. Apparently the last one doesn't require, fund payroll, take care of employee benefits, and pay mortgage to cover utility, and then buy a Lambo. Apparently the last one doesn't quite qualify as a permissible cost under the Paycheck Protection Program, but that generally didn't stop one Florida man from putting some of his coronavirus aid money towards buying a $318,000 Lamborghini Huracan Evo. David Haynes, whose business was in the red by more than $30,000, received a $4 million loan from the government and soon took to the streets of Miami Beach in his fancy new Italian sports car. What in the absolute fudge muffin? So, your business, you got a business. You're in the red 30 grand. The government fronts you $4 million. And the first thing you do is buy a sports car. A $300,000 sports car. You know what that tells me? It tells me that there's a reason why this guy's business was in the red 30 grand. That's what it tells me. So someone like this shouldn't have gotten that loan. But let's continue here. As if the Lambo was in love, Hans also splashed $4,600 while shopping at Saks Fifth Avenue, as well as thousands of more fancy hotels, jewelry, according to the Washington Post. Maybe, just maybe, should have kept a lower profile. True. Hans was arrested and charged with making false statements to a lending institution, bank fraud, and engaging with transactions and unlawful proceeds. Realistically, if he gets caught, he's already caught. What am I talking about? But if he gets convicted is what I meant to say. If he gets convicted, he's going away for a while. And on top of that, through the situation we're all going through right now, they're going to make an example out of him. Let's break this down. So this guy's business was in trouble already. He was in it so much. Imagine being in debt every month, 30 grand, right? Your business is in the red. You're not making any profits, right? And then you got granted $4 million by the federal government, right? You got granted $4 million. Why? Any sensible person, that's like, you give my business $4 million, you'll get more, guaranteed. Guaranteed. I will give you more money than I receive from you, right? Because the money is meant to go towards the business, right? And that goes to show you that this person should have never, ever, first of all, considered starting a business. Second of all, even considered going after a loan. Because if there's anyone you decide you shouldn't have problem with, folks, if there's any group of people that you should absolutely not mess with, it's the federal government. All right, the federal government. That is, especially with their money. You don't want problems with the feds, bro. You stupidly. This guy here is a class 1 grade A moron. You stupidly decided to mess with the federal government. On top of that, didn't even take the proper precautions. I would have cleaned that money. Hell yeah! As soon as I got it, I would have cleaned that money. He didn't clean it. That's why he got caught. Let's break down why he got caught, right? He didn't clean the money when he got it. He could have made the expenses look legitimate. He could have done that, right? A $300,000 Lamborghini. First of all, that is loud. That is a loud purchase. And second of all, what does that have to do with your company? What does that have to do with anything? How is a Lamborghini going to help your business? So you didn't make it look like you were actually trying. You got $4 million. If I would have probably hired fake employees, pay them just to say, hey, you work here. And then just I don't know, like make multiple companies and send money back and forth in the form of loans, probably, right? And then maybe kept a lower profile, but some people just can't resist the urge to flex, especially when they get money they didn't deserve. They cannot resist the urge to flex. The urge to flex is strong with this one. And that's the one thing I don't get. I mean, one of the reasons why you got caught, dude, is because you got reckless. You got reckless. You spent too much too soon, and you invested in too many materialistic things that didn't even matter. I mean, okay, you got a Lamborghini. What? For what? To try to impress people that don't care about you anyways? The only two types of people that are going to care about you, dude. And those are people who, A, genuinely have a vested interest in you to succeed. They're going to care about you, family members, friends, and things like that, and pay attention to you. And the other group of people are people who hate you, haters. They're going to pay attention to you to make sure your life is just as worse as theirs is. So when you're going on there to try to flex for them, why? They don't care. They're just wishing for your downfall. So why? But you're on top of that, you're flexing with money you don't even really have, owing to people you really don't want to be owing any kind of money to. You don't want to be owing money to the feds. They're gonna make an example in this guy, and that goes for a lot of you guys out there who decide to, because they're coming out with I've read multiple articles on fraud cases coming out regarding this PPP. Right? Those you guys who are getting involved in this stuff, you will get caught. Everything's being politicized right now. Everything's made into a huge issue. You best believe they're gonna turn this into an issue. And if you get caught with this, just like this idiot, right, they are gonna make an example out of you. Real talk. They're gonna make a big example out of you. Whether it's $1,000, $10,000, $4 million, whatever it is, they will get that money back. They will catch you. They will get every penny of it. Okay? The only two things that are guaranteed, death and taxes. And when you owe the government taxes or you owe the government money, they will find a way to get it or they will take your freedom. That's how they work. And in this case, they took this kid's freedom or this guy's freedom. And on top of that, you deserve it because you're taking money. That $4 million could have went to businesses who were actually failing. It could have gone into the paychecks of employees who would have really needed to be employed. That $318,000 right there, that could be an income for families, potential families. That could have kept another business afloat and kept that potential local economy going wherever that business would have gotten. But instead, it went into this guy's pockets, and he's going to pay the price for it. It is what it is. It is what it is. They're going to make an example out of this guy. He's going to get years and years and years in prison, and they're going to make this a political issue for sure. So I'm going to move on to our last and final story.